Hello everyone. This is a video from RVT Group of Schools for class 6. Students, today we are going to start our chapter number 9, that is the living organisms and their surroundings. And our today's topic is about the introduction to living organisms, habitat, different kind of habitats and their adaptation. First of all, let's have a look on the objectives of the topic. In this topic, we are able to understand about environment. Second, to understand about abiotic and biotic components. And the skills we acquire, observation skills and thinking skills. The keywords included in this topic are environment, abiotic, biotic, habitat, adaptation, producers, consumers, sequencers and decomposers. Look at the picture, what you are observing or what you are watching. It is the picture of Earth, and Earth includes plants and animals, and these comprises an environment. The environment surrounds us. As we can see, plants are present all around us, animals are present and different kinds of objects are also present in our environment. So, here we discuss the components of our environment. Components of our environment are biotic component and abiotic component. Here you can see in the picture, two pictures are in front of you. One of the biotic components and another one is of abiotic components. Biotic components include the living organisms. Plants are living. Animals are also the living organisms. And here abiotic factors. First, the air you can see, the temperature, minerals, light, soil, water, pH, humidity. All these things are included under abiotic factors. And students, biotic factors and abiotic factors both are interdependent. They are directly dependent on each other or indirectly dependent on each other. First, observe your food. From where we get our food? We get our food from biotic factors like plants and animals. Plants are the only source for our food. For us also, for some animals also, and animals are also the source of food for us and some another animals also. And for our breathing, respiration, for planting trees, for maintaining the climate, for maintaining our weather conditions, we need air, soil, temperature and water. And the main source of our energy is light, which included under the abiotic factor. Light is the only source of which helping producing food for plants and for us also. Earlier we have discussed abiotic component, the non-living factors in an ecosystem, and biotic components, the living factors of an ecosystem. What is an ecosystem? An ecosystem is the place where living and non-living things present at one place. You are seeing in the picture biotic versus abiotic factors. Biotic factors are the living factors, abiotic factors are the non-living factors. Living, plants, animals, fungi and bacteria. Non-living, water, sunlight, soil, air and temperature. As we have earlier discussed, these both the factors are interdependent on each other directly or indirectly. I hope you can differentiate between the abiotic components of an ecosystem and the biotic component of an ecosystem. Next, the biotic components are divided into four main groups. In the first slide, you have watched the producers, consumers, decomposers and sequencers are the part of our biotic components. producers. As the name suggests, producers means the thing which producing something for us. And here, producers are also known as autotrophs. Auto means self, and autotrophs are the organisms which produce their food by their own, like plants. Plants produce their food by their own. They are not dependent on other organisms for their food. And for example, photosynthesis is the only process which is done by the autotrophs. And the second is consumers. Consumers means us, because we consume other organism, other plant for our daily requirement of food. Here, consumers are also known as heterotrophs, means the organisms which depend on other organisms for their food. Third is decomposers. As we all know, after some time or after spending a life, humans also die and plants get also die. After that, what happened to the bodies of the human and the plants? We know in some places we bury the body of human beings and plants also get down on the soil. And there are different kind of bacteria are present known as decomposers. Decomposers decompose that material into the simple organic substances and they get mixed into the soil. So here are the decomposers, and squeezers are the organisms which feed on the dead plants and animals. Second, abiotic component, the non-living factors we have discussed. And the examples of abiotic component are soil, water, air, sunlight, temperature and inorganic nutrients which are present in our environment. Here, sunlight is the only source, then wind or air, through we get the oxygen, water, soil, and after the process or the water cycle we ultimately get the rain, and which help us also, our farmers also and plants also too, they can grow properly and give us a good production of crops. Next is habitat. What is habitat? The habitat in which living organism lives. Our home is a habitat for us. Animals are living in forest. That is habitat for them. Mountain regions where different kind of plants and animals were found, that also the habitat for the different organisms. And you can see in the picture there are different kind of habitats like desert, domestic including our home, farmhouses, forest, polar region, wetlands, tropical rainforest, oceans. All these are the different kind of habitats where living organism lives. For what? What is the need of that different kind of habitat? The different kind of habitat is present for the different kind of animals, so they can get their food, so they can live with the proper shelter in the proper weather conditions favorable to them, so they can survive in that particular habitat. Here, first is the terrestrial habitat. Terrestrial means the habitat which is present on the land, the land habitat. It includes the forest, grasslands, deserts and rainforests. Next is aquatic habitat. Aquatic habitat, the plants and the animals, or you can say the living organisms which live in water included under the aquatic habitat. We will discuss these both as follow. The adaptation, the presence of specific features. We are adapted to our environment. We are not facing any problem as we are living in this environment, because we are adapted to this climate, we are adapted to the features we are adapted to this weather. So in our body or the animals which are present around us have the specific features or certain habits which make them able to live in that particular area or particular habitat. This is the adaptation, means we are adapted to the climatic conditions, we are adapted to the people we are living with, that is adaptation. Likewise, plants and animals are also adapted to their environment. Next, now we will discuss the parts of the terrestrial habitats. It includes the deserts, mountain and grassland. First, the terrestrial habitat, organisms that live on land. It includes the desert, mountains, polar region and grasslands. First, desert. Have you ever visited to the Rajasthan? That is a desert place where the conditions are very hot and dry. The climate is very hot during the daytime and very cool at the night. That habitat is known as desert habitat. And you have watched also there are camels you found and some snakes, rats, all these are present in desert habitat. Why they are present only in desert habitat? This is the plant you may found in only the desert climatic conditions, that is the cactus. Why it is found in desert? Because that plant is adapted to the desert habitat, because it has roots that spread far to absorb rainwater. Here the rainwater is the only source for water, have stems that store water, have spines to protect plants from being eaten by animals. These spines are present on the cactus plant so no one can eat them. They protect themselves by other organisms. This is the adaptation of these plants in desert habitat. Here, this is the most common animal where you found in the desert habitat, that is camel. And the camel also adapted to the desert habitat with different kind of specific features. First, you can say the nostrils, the stretchy nostrils keep out the sand, because the desert region have a lot of sand also. Leathery mouth, have camel eat spiky plants. Long eyelashes to keep sand out of eyes. Long eyelashes present so that sand is stay away from the body of the camel, out of the eyes. Next is hair on the back to protect again from sun, because the conditions are very hot. A camel should protect itself from the sun by having hairs. Hump for storing food for long time. Padded feet, stop sinking into the sand and to protect them from the heat of the ground. Long legs, keep camel off the hot sand, help to keep cool. So the distance between the body of the camel and the sand should be maintained by these long legs. Next, snakes and rats. In the desert region, they live under the burrows to keep themselves, and they come out during night, because the climatic conditions during night are very cool, and in daytime they prefer to sleep because of the hot climatic conditions. Next, the mountain habitat. You must have visited in the Himalayan regions. The habitat and the weather conditions there are very cold and windy. Temperature is very low at that place, and as you go higher up in the mountains, the temperature decreases. That is the climatic conditions of the mountain habitat. Next is adaptation in plants in the mountain habitat. There you can see the pine trees are very in large quantity. because they are very tall, straight and have cone shape. They are flowerless. They have cones with seed inside them. Leaves of these plants are needle-like, have a waxy coating to prevent any damage from snow. And the most common example is pine, deodar and fir. Next, the most common animal you can see in the mountain region, that is yak. They have a very, you can say, the large amount of fat in their body, so they can protect themselves from the cold climatic conditions, have hairs, have padded legs so they can move on the snow easily. These are the adaptation of the animals in the mountain region. Next is grassland habitat. The conditions, the climatic conditions are very dry and windy, and the moderate rainfall they get. In the grassland, the rainfall is moderate, means the medium level of rainfall they get. Adaptation in plants there. How plants survive there? There you can find the grasses have flexible stalks which do not bend or break in wind. So they easily stand on in the high windy conditions also. Strong roots which hold the soil firmly. Adaptation in animals. Animals like lions, leopards, all these are found in the grasslands. Eyes in front that help to catch prey from great distance. Sharp teeth and sharp claws to catch the prey. Prey they feed on, the animals they feed on are known as prey. And tear flesh. To tear the flesh of the prey, they need sharp teeth and claws. Next is the light brown color to hide themselves in the dry grass so they can easily catch their prey. They hide themselves from the prey and the hunters also. These are the adaptations of the animals present in the grassland. Next is adaptation in animals like deer. Deer is the prey, or you can say the main animal which is eaten by the lions and the leopards. Eyes on the sides of head, so they can protect also, they can watch their predators easily, which give them a wide range of vision. Next is long ears to hear the movement of predators. From very far or from very long distance, they can hear the voice or the sound of the predators that they are coming, and so they can hide themselves from them, they can protect themselves from the predators. These are the adaptations in animals which are found in grasslands. Aquatic habitat. The grassland, desert, mountain, all these habitats are come under the terrestrial habitat. Now it's time to discuss about the aquatic habitat. Aquatic means the water. The organisms live in water like lakes, ponds, rivers and oceans. And now there are different kind of water is present, somewhere the fresh water and somewhere the salty water is present. They have a specific body shape, so they can move in the water easily. The organisms present in the aquatic habitat. You are watching in the picture also, there is a fish which have a very streamlined shape, so it can move easily under water. These are some adaptations which are adapted according to the habitat of that particular area. Now adaptation in plants. Here it is our national flower, lotus. It floats over water, freely float over water. It is adapted to aquatic condition. It is present in the fresh water. The leaves are very thick. They have a waxy substance present on the leaves, so they become waterproof. And they have a very wide stem, so they can respire easily. Next is Water lily. This is the picture of water lily. As I have already told that the leaves of these plants have a waxy substance over them, so they can make themselves waterproof. Thank you students for watching this video.